Yeah. Ay, 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 ay. Whoa. If the real talk gets in hard, bring it up. If the lies need sunlight, bring it up. Cause every night we talk love and then we talk lies, then we laugh. Then we open your eyes. If it's messy but it's funny, bring it up. If it's sweet but it's shady, bring it up. Cause every night we talk love and then we talk lies. Real talk in our Cayman tonight.
Good night, everyone.
Boy, that was hot.
Yeah?
Good intro song. Yeah, man, you got me dancing over here. Well done.
Hey, dancing on that. Yeah, boy.
Boy! Do you on that beat?
But you don't know how many people's mother I had to cuss to get
I
that
know,
thing.
I remember. I was there. I was supporting you through it. I'm emotional support. You did good. You did a good job, bro.
I cuss everybody.
Let me not mess up your intro, because what's your name?
Well, good night, world. Good night, Cayman. You're tuned in to Real Talk, Love and Lies, the late night space where we put love, sex, lies, and all the messy in between on the table without the fake perfection. We're your hosts, Alfred.
And Matilda!
And as always, our real co-hosts are you, the listeners. Your stories shape this show. If you're new here, this is where we talk honestly about relationships and betrayal, laugh so we don't cry, and ask the questions most people only whisper about in group chats. So get comfortable, plug in your headphones, or turn the volume down low if the kids are still awake. This is Real Talk, Love and Lies, and we're just getting started. So, quick disclaimer, because we got to put our disclaimer out there every show. We are not therapists, nor are we lawyers, nor are we doctors, and nothing on this show is professional advice. We're here for honest conversation and entertainment, so please don't take anything said tonight as a substitute for counseling, legal help, or medical care. And remember, all stories are shared respectfully, and any resemblance to real people is purely coincidental, unless you just got real quiet.
So, it's my time to tell on you, because you have been a pain in my behind all week. Every 2 minutes, so Alfredo calls me, must be 3-4 times a day about that, nah? And we have conversations. And every single time. And the worst part was when you found a quiet. Let me just tell the story, right? He calls me up and he's like, hello? Is it me you're looking for all week? And then you went down to some empty apartment somewhere, and he's like, hold on, I just had to call you. I had to call you because I couldn't miss the opportunity to take advantage of these acoustics. Hello? Is it me you're looking for? Boy, you fool. I have been tormented by that story all week.
Oh God. You think that's it? Wait to see what I got in store for you with that.
Oh no.
So,
Oh man.
but I have a question
It
for
was a
you.
good week.
I have a question for you, though, Tilla. And the question is, based on last week's show, does good pum pum still deserve shelter?
I knew you were gonna come with some foolishness in it. Oh, good pum pum deserves shelter, as always. I can walk into every building like the Grinch with my belly forward.
I hear you. And to all of them,
For those of you who don't catch them, you have to go back and listen to last week's show. We had so much fun last week.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of people had fun, because I think we have over 10,000 views on that show, don't we?
We did. We had that was a milestone for us, and I want to thank every one of you who's helped us get to that many views. I mean, without you, there is no show. So yeah, I like, we were just watching the numbers just climb up. So it was like, okay, from 3,000, 4,000, 5,000. Then it was like, okay, shit, we're going to 6,000, 7,000, 8,000, like shit, 9,000, and we made that 10,000 mark. So I thank all of you for supporting us so far. Greater things are yet to come.
Yeah, in fact, some things have, you know, I think we're inspired by all of this success so far to get a couple of other pieces in place, because you've been working on our Instagram. We have now kicked off our WhatsApp channel where we will be putting out questions in advance and introducing some of our topics here and there, kind of like the insider, like our WhatsApp channel is going to be like that inside group where we'll put out polls and get feedback in real time from you guys as we go forward. And in fact, we have a poll out there now, don't we?
We do. And it will close at 10:30. We will reveal the results of the poll. But for those of you who are not yet a member or not yet a follower of our channel on WhatsApp, and you would like to take the poll, now is the time to do it. Do we have the QR code for the...
I don't know that I have a QR code, but I definitely have the link. Let me see if I can get a QR code.
Okay.
You go ahead. Let me see if I can figure that out. Huh? No, it's a link that we... Oh, hold on. I have a QR code. Mess with us.
For the WhatsApp thing? Yeah, man. Put it up. Yeah, because we posted up on Instagram.
Send it to you.
Yeah. We had posted up on Instagram.
Add it. No, you know, I gotta do this a little bit ass-formous, right? So I gotta send that to you on WhatsApp and pull that out of WhatsApp and get that into... You go ahead talking while I sort this piece out.
All right. So tonight's show, we're talking about commitment issues, immigration solutions, right? Paper love and marriages of convenience in the Cayman Islands, otherwise known as sham marriages. Now, Matilda, would you mind if I played a little clip just to kind of introduce us to this topic? All right.
This is one of my favorites. This is a good one.
Anyone else is an idiot? No, I don't regret it. I actually don't. Like, a lot of people are like, don't do it if you're too young. No, I don't regret it. If you know in your heart that your visa is expiring, you go for it. You follow your little heart. Got divorced. Found out, very ugly thing, I found out that my ex-husband now tells people that I only married him for a green card. I'm this Eastern European hoe who just wanted a green card, which is so messed up because that's my joke. Obviously, I didn't marry him for a green card, but I don't like the way women who do marry for a green card are treated in America. They're treated like gold diggers, which is so unfair. Because from what I hear, like gold diggers, they get like trips to exotic places and handbags and shoes and cars and free rent. You know what a green card is, right? It's a permission to work. It doesn't come with a house or a car. So I think we need to stop slut shaming women who suck so they can do jury duty. Because nobody loves this country more than a woman who sucked to be here. And if you are sucking in that ugly old just so you can have bad health insurance and a minimum wage job, you're not a gold digger. You're a patriot.
And you know, say Kim got her patriots, not true?
Boy.
Why? Kim got her patriots. Hold on, I got a WhatsApp image here now. So this is how you join our channel. For those of you who are able to see us, you just kind of pull that QR code, jump into that channel, participate in our poll, which is closing. I think you got 2 polls out there though, Alfredo, now.
Yeah, we got 2 polls, but the one we're going to be talking about tonight is the one having to do with sham marriages. So
the poll on that we're doing is, if you find out it started as a marriage for papers, can love still be real? Option 1, yes, love can grow. Oh, we got so many optimists. I love this. Number 2, no, it's built on a lie. Number 3, depends on honesty after. And then number 4, I need the full story. Which one was your vote? I want to know where you voted. Can I know what my vote was?
Hello, there's a secret vote thing, Naina. There's a secret.
Yeah. Okay, sorry.
A secret. We don't want influence. We don't want influence the people who come on and vote. We're gonna talk about that after the poll closes.
Well, y'all jump onto that WhatsApp. We're gonna keep that QR code up just for a little bit longer. But we got a lot going on this evening because we have so many questions, because there's so many questions about sham marriages. People are talking about sham marriages not only in Cayman, they're talking about them in the States, they're talking about them in England, They're talking about them all over the world and why people marry for convenience, right? So, I mean, we came up with a couple of things as to why people might marry for convenience, right? Immigration is the obvious one that is being talked about right now, but there are other things too, right? So I've heard of people marrying to get health care. I've seen that one before, but it's not as common. It's more tied to the immigration thing. And then, oh my goodness, there was a saying that I saw as well. Housing. I saw somebody post something up the other day and I never forgot it. I sent it to a friend of mine who knew that she knew I hated her ex-boyfriend. So I sent it to her and it said,
oh, shit.
Nobody is more romantic than a narcissist who needs a place to live.
But we did cover a post of that on Instagram, the partner playbook.
We did.
But we talked about that. We talked about the people who they come with the sweet, here we go back again, sweet mouth, right? And just looking for a place to stay, and there's certain little things they say and certain little things they do to kind of inch their way into your space just so they have somewhere to lay their head. So speaking about Instagram though, I have to plug our Instagram page. So I'm just gonna take the code off for a little bit. If you haven't already done so, please join us on Real Talk Love and Lies, where we're gonna be posting clips from the show and that sort of thing. So it's actually growing in number. So
it's brand new though. It's like 2 minutes old. So we're enjoying it, watching everybody come on in.
Yeah. So, all right.
But there's so many reasons why to marry for convenience. You see people marrying for like, listen, man, I had one good one the other day. I had a friend of mine. Well, I can't really. I gotta be careful not to reveal too much, huh? But there's a person that I know very, very well who got married. And hold on, I getting messages.
Yeah.
Messages on WhatsApp. Hold on, let me see what WhatsApp says, but remind me to come back to it. The government needs to step in because there's too much people getting married here in Cayman for different reasons, and they don't stay or they don't love the person. Well, I think it's fair to say that the government is stepping in. We're trying to stay a little bit far from the politics tonight, but I don't think we can avoid it fully. But now they're saying that they're changing the rules that once you've married, you can't get Cayman status until you've been here for 20 years. You have to be married for 20 years. And all I could think about was them old men that married people when they're in their 80s. And, the wife. Some young chick, and they know that. And the young chick, of course, marries them because they're like, well, I'll be here for the 7 years. We'll be all right. And, after that, I can go my separate ways. But he gonna be gone before 20 years.
Listen to me. I got jump in here and I got to tell you this story. Years ago, I was at a bar in right here in thing. I don't want to call the name of the bar because anonymity and that kind of thing, right? And they had these two bartenders from a Hispanic country. I won't say where. And there was this old man coming. The man came in on a cane. Man, dressed nice. He got his little fedora hat on. He come up the stairs and he's sitting down at the bar. And I mean, the man looked like he were ready to expire. And then these two women came now and they rubbing him up and they rubbing up his chest and they rubbing up his shoulders and, oh, papi, you so sexy, you so this, you so that. And he there grinning from ear to ear. You remember the Cheshire Cat from Alice in Wonderland? Like when they just disappear and all that left with a smile, that was that man, right? I said, now that you're talking about this 20-year thing, I wonder if one of them had married him now. Oh well.
Well, no, but I don't think it applies if you're married before the law changed. So, we got one comment come in here now, and let me tell you, I've been wondering about this, and I would love to check it with the folks in the marriage industry because check now in December how many people get married.
Aye.
Don't get me wrong,
Excellent.
I understand if somebody was engaged before and they were planning their wedding and they were taking their time and they had their date set for a wedding in like summer or next year or whatever, right? And then they decide, boy, it don't make no sense. We might as well just get this done. I completely understand that.
Mm-hmm.
But you know how many people probably just up and say, boy, I need to lock this down quick time before 7 years becomes 20.
Mm.
And he might make it that long, or she
If they,
might make it that long, because that goes both ways, you know.
yeah, boy. If they last that
Oh, but I
long.
was starting telling one story. I was starting telling one good one. So I had this person that I know that they got married, and nobody in their family don't know. And they got married to this person who was from another country, another Caribbean island that speaks another language. I think. I'm not even sure where the person come from. I'll be honest with you. Anyhow, marries a person, and I hear it on the grapevine, and I find them. I say, "I hear you get married," and they say, "Huh? Marriage is just a contract." I'm like, "Does anybody know?" Nope, nobody knows. Live with them or nothing? Nope, I don't live with them. So hold on. What is this? My boy said this is business. He said, "Yeah, you want to be in my country? You got to pay rent." You hear me?
Mm-hmm.
You want to be in my country? You got to pay rent. That what my person said to me. This person got married so that this person that their partner from overseas could stay here longer. They have no relationship, but they gonna be in a relationship when the time comes to ask questions, huh? Listen, when I heard about that, I nearly dead. I had never heard of that before, but that probably been happening a long time,
Well,
been happening a long time.
well, something like it just make you wonder. I mean, if they're doing that and the foreign person is paying rent, it make you wonder, like, shit, if they ever were to, legalize polygamy, we really be in a mess then.
Oh, I never thought of that.
But
That sounds like a show unto itself, but I
but
hear
you know,
you.
but there are
I
other
thought the
reasons.
message.
They got other reasons. They got other reasons people engage in sham marriages, do you know?
Yeah,
Yeah,
this is true.
You ever heard of something called a beard marriage?
Yes. Oh,
But that's a whole other
yes.
show.
Oh no, I like that one. I really want to talk about that one. But you know something but tell the people. Let's tell the people what a beard marriage is. Hold on, I get in WhatsApp
Marriage?
message. They need to do something about simple weddings on Smith Road. I know people in Cayman that got married and they don't live together, and the man paying the woman every month.
Where that is?
Heard these stories. This is coming in on WhatsApp.
Oh,
my goodness.
okay. You
Yeah,
want to post the actual thing?
I gotta send it. I gotta figure that out though.
Yeah, man. Just screen capture it and cut out the people name.
Yeah, man. I do not know. Go ahead, carry on. Describe the beard. Explain the beard.
Yeah, so for those who don't know, a beard marriage is basically a marriage to hide sexuality or to avoid gossip, right? So usually you have one or two people who are both part of the LGBT community, and they just decide to get married. In the case where one is part of the community, the straight partner may or may not know, but they get married, and it's really just, again, like, just to hide their sexuality or to avoid gossip, right? So the cover line might sound something like, we just clicked, but in reality is, they just needed a storyline. But that's essentially what a beard marriage is, right?
I think I've seen one or two of them before.
Oh, enough of them around the place.
I can imagine, but that's a whole show on PL.
Enough of them around the place, but that's a whole other show. So let me think. What's some other reasons why? What do you think about people getting
DL man them? Somebody messaging to say that a DL man them. But I think the classic one though, right, is financial stability, right? And we have an example of that I love. there's this person that I follow on social media. She this is not real, right? Because they actually have a real marriage. These are people that love each other very much, and they just make joke about this all the time. She's in fact pregnant with her first child, and I'm so excited to follow them. But I'm gonna share this video because this is one of my favorites.
Just give her the money.
We are allergic to 50-50 men. What do you bring to the table, men? I'm poor white man.
Hold on, let me start from the beginning.
My name is Rachel, and I'm monogamous. Meaning, I can only be monogamous with one man if he gives me money. My pronouns are monogamy.
My name is Rachel's husband, and I'm in a monogamous relationship.
People like me marry for sprinkle, and soft life.
Before you marry a monogamist, I recommend reading the sprinkle terms and conditions. It's not that hard.
As soon as he gets stingy, we get other men to help him.
Yeah, it's caring. As her husband, it is important to read her mind to know when she needs money. But I'm busy, so I let her spend, and the bank notifies me.
Yeah, he's a busy man, but we have a working system.
I love technology.
We accept bank cards, shopping sprees, credit cards.
On to the video.
I don't know. She look like she freeze up. Oh, continue, Rachel. Tell us more. Tell us more, my dear.
50-50 men. What do you bring to the table, men? I'm poor white man. We don't understand it. I once got hives when a guy asked me on a walking date. So sad.
I'm so sorry.
Rich men have tried to play me before, but I let them find out about each other through my Instagram stories. Monogamists exist.
Respect the monogamist.
What?
Listen, man. She is Rachel. What? Rachel Bliss, I think she's called. Rachel Fix. Don't worry, we're gonna post the link. We're gonna post this video on our Instagram because I love this. I love this couple. They crack me up so much. She's part of that like hard wig soft life movement. I don't know if do you know about hard wig soft life?
Hard wig soft life.
You not heard this before?
What the hell is a hard wig?
Oh my goodness, hard wig soft life is a whole vibe, bro. It is a whole vibe. So the hard wig soft life is when people, it's when a black woman wears a very, very hard wig and attracts a white man, and he's usually very rich. It's a phenomenon. Who's this? Worse the wig, more money he paying. That's right, Martin. That's exactly it. Listen, man, we really need to get you on TikTok, Alfred, because there are a couple of references I also don't think you got just now, which was sprinkle. Do you know what sprinkle?
I got sprinkle, but a hard wig.
Yeah, hard wig soft life is like the original sprinkle movement. We gonna talk about that another time, but that one cracked me up because she does this whole hard wig soft life thing where she talks about her wigs and stuff. Oh, it's great. It is so funny. The worse the wig, the more money he paying. You want to catch a billionaire, you got to destroy a wig. And he can't put it on good. It need prop up. It can't be on too tight. It is so funny. But yeah, we have lots of reasons to enter into marriage for convenience. But then I also feel like I always get really sad because you kind of think like, do some of these people expect to fall in love at some point? We will grow into love.
Some people
and
don't
sometimes
fall in love, they just fall in line.
Yeah, and that makes me sad. And then, there's also this lie they tell themselves, well, that person is nice enough. They'll do, they'll do. And then it ends up being like the worst 7 years or 20 years of their lives, right?
Mm-hmm.
And of course, and I feel so bad for the little old men because sometimes they pick up this little hot girl, right? And they're like, just to make sure she don't have to roll over. And in their mind, it's like, oh, she'll calm down eventually. She'll settle down. I heard one of them say one time, you get a young wife, you got to give her a baby. That one killed me. I was like, oh no. And WhatsApp messages coming in, people that making the marriage offer know that they have proof, and they still go ahead with the marriage and nothing is being done. One marriage officer said that she married over 4,000 people in Cayman. Wow. I hope that wasn't in December. Was that just in December?
No. Can't be.
Possible. But you know something? I mean, some of those marriages, though, a lot of like what Simply Weddings does is they do a lot of cruise ship weddings. I know that much for sure because I know they talk about their numbers a lot, but it's because they actually do a lot of the wedding tourism.
Mm-hmm.
And I know that some of our wedding planners here work really closely with them so that their numbers are actually much higher than just the population that came on.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my goodness. My man say the edges got me falling off of the wig. You're not wrong. My man knows what time it is. He knows what time it is.
I suppose he
Hard
does.
wig, soft life.
I suppose he does.
But yeah.
Well,
You know, we coming up on 10:30.
we
gotta get the final results of our poll.
Yeah, man. 5 more minutes. If you haven't joined our channel, please do. The QR code is up on the screen. Capture it with your phone. Join our channel and join our
Put in your
community,
vote.
our Real Talk community. Put in your votes for polls.
And in 5 minutes, we're gonna give you the results.
So
you know something too. Go ahead. You go first.
You know, I was gonna ask, right? And this question goes out to the audience as well, but I want to ask you, Tilda. You know, what problem does marriage suddenly become a solution for? Or what problems does it become a solution for?
I mean, rollover is the obvious one. Housing is one. I don't really see the health insurance one so much. I've heard about people in the States, not here, but I've heard about people in the States getting married to get dental care.
The hell? So,
yeah, because it's expensive.
So let me guess the line. Oh, I never believed in marriage until I saw your coverage. I mean, like, how does that work?
I don't know. You had me at health insurance.
How does that work?
I don't know. And you know, I've also heard of another one as a reason to get to marry. Let me think. What other problems is marriage a solution for?
Martin says work permit.
Yeah, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's also, but we have to look at the flip side too. I feel old. I no longer feel, or I really don't think that I can find a partner in my own society. And so I am going to find someone vulnerable that I can lock down. That's the anchor, right? The problem is your own insecurity, so you got locked down. And you see, like, especially some of them old hot boys, like, like some of those
an old hot boy,
right? Yeah. They're retired now. They got time on their hands. They probably split up with their first wife for their own bad behavior. So they spend a lot of time with their fedora and their guayabera in the bar. The ones that you described. And you know something, what you described there, where you're talking about the guy that you saw in the bar and he got rubbed down. I have seen that. I have been to bars in Cayman where I bump into somebody like that. And they talk to me, and then they find out I'm from Cayman, and they completely lose interest in the conversation.
Okay, you probably family.
But no, we're not even at a family, bro.
Or you went to school with their daughter.
I'm not in the target market. I'm not in the target market. You know what I mean? I'm not in the market, bro. I'm not in the pond that they're fishing in.
Oh, why? Because you're wise. You're too wise to the ways.
Also, and you hear people complain about Cayman women all the time. How Cayman women, Cayman woman not easy, and I'm like, thank you, thank you. But it goes both ways, It goes both ways because we're not talking just about young women marrying older men. We're not talking just about like women that work in bars that marry the men that walk in with their guayabera and fedora. You actually see young men and people of all ages, really, that marry to be an anchor.
So
What is the wildest thing though that people convince themselves is romantic under pressure?
He proposed right after my work appointment.
Or his work appointment, right?
Or his work appointment.
Yeah. I got a good one, but I gotta be careful.
I mean, that don't sound like fit. That sounds like a follow-up, but
yeah, that's a payment plan.
Payment plan, you're right there. Or he's young at heart.
Oh, he's young at heart.
He's young at heart. You heard that one yet?
One better one than that. One old man was courting an older Jamaican lady who had been here for some time, and I think she might have rolled over before, and she was coming up on her rollover, and you were courting her, and she said, "But listen, I can't deal with that, you know. Like you are way too old for me." And mind you, she's an older lady. She's past middle age. And he said, but he said to me, "I know you look at me and you think that I'm old, but I might be weak in the hip, but I'm sweet in the lip."
Oh my God, my mind went so many different places with that one. No, stop.
Weak in the hip, but sweet in the lip. In the end, she married him. And I don't think that was a marriage of convenience. I really can't say that was a marriage of convenience, right? But I remember her saying to somebody,
it was a genuine.
I think there was genuine affection. There was genuine, and he worked on her for years because she wasn't even coming up to roll over when he had started working on her. And I remember him saying to her, to him, "Dad, you know, we close enough in age that I can make it work. But when you see him now going after like a 30-year-old now, you would know that is not romance. That is business." That's what she said. "That's not romance. That is business." And I was like, okay, that makes sense. I think it was a genuine thing, but you know, like that was a wild thing to convince yourself was romantic. Weak in the hip, but sweet in the lip.
Some like I'm 1 foot in the cradle, and some like I'm 1 foot in the grave. So I don't know what to tell you there. But
hold on, what does one say? Not the ring come what?
He said, "Nah, the ring came box stomped from work." The ring came from work.
Oh man, Martin on the hot one today.
Mm-hmm.
And I noticed that a lot of this comes with an age gap, right? But my question to you is this: how do the young girls convince these Caymanian grandfathers with papers that they are so deeply interested in them? How do they convince them?
I think what it is that it's an ego hit, because for that man I spoke about years ago, right? Like you walk in on a cane. Now I'm not gonna talk about his prowess in the bedroom, but I mean, if you walk in on a cane, and I mean that man was walking slow, it really made me wonder now what the hell he can do for this young girl in bed, right? So, but for him it was an ego. He's like, oh, you know, he not just one but two rubbing him up and telling him that he's sexy and he good and this and that, you know.
He still got it.
You know, he still got it. So I mean, I think maybe how they convince Grandpa.
Grandpa gotta know. He gotta know that not right.
I don't know. I mean, like I guess they make him feel chosen and not targeted. So she'll probably say things like, "I like older men," and you know, he hears, "Yeah, I still got it," right? I guess they sell.
But you know, it goes both ways, and it goes both ways. Let me play this one. Can I play a clip real quick?
Sure, go ahead.
You know, this one come with the hot clips. No true. Hang tight.
How are you today? Love you, princess. Will you never leave my side, love?
our point of view, what I'm hearing versus what he's saying. What I'm hearing, hello, green card. How are you today? Love you, green card.
Stupidness.
I got that
Hello,
one again.
princess. How are
Yeah,
you today?
princess.
Love you, princess.
What's up,
Will you
princess?
never leave my side, love?
Sorry.
Oh my gosh. And you know, princess could have give birth to him mother. That pretty intense. That is pretty intense.
Oh my God.
Mm.
Martin says fling saltfish.
Oh, that's how they catch him now. Oh my God.
Please elaborate.
No, please do not elaborate. And I'm ready to say them things out loud. I know. Oh, okay. We got more answers.
It says, how to spell Mark says, left a like and some positive energy for the stream. I'm live at the moment as well, and I respect anyone willing to create in real time. Oh, thank you so much, Mark.
Oh, bless you.
Thank you. Hilton says Viagra and Cialis changed the game.
Oh boy, so they still got it
mess.
for true then, Hilton. They
What
still
a
got
mess.
it for true. What's this now? Well, you said this one. He throws sausage straight from the tropical sausage straight from the Caribbean. Oh, Martin on it. Martin going.
Martin on fire tonight, man.
He on fire tonight. He on
Mhm.
fire tonight. He is on fire.
And when he says sausage, okay, yeah, now I got. Thank you, Martin.
Now you understand what sausage means.
Oh, like that song. Oh God, like that song you shared with me the other day.
Oh, that was a sparrow saltfish. Nothing in the world sweeter than saltfish.
Now that makes
Yeah,
sense.
right.
Now that makes sense.
You know what time it is.
All right, I'm just getting the poll ready to share on screen.
While you get the poll ready, I am going to share our oh, hold on. I'm going to share our hang tight. Our phone number so you can call us if you want. Oh, it's still running. You can see us. 345-936-7377. You can call us or you can WhatsApp us. Our email is also open, and we can pull messages in from our email as well. So I wanted to talk a little bit while you're ready for the poll. Why do people agree to be the anchor? And when we say the anchor, we mean like the person who has the papers to give, right? Are you ready for the poll? Or you want me to get into that first?
No, you can get into it first, and and then after we can bring up the poll.
Because this is sometimes people. This not somebody's not always being fooled. Sometimes they know exactly what they're getting into. For example,
she is using me for money and for papers. Yes, use me. I beg. The papers she already has. Take. Is it money? Finish it, please. I beg. Take all the money. Which kind of nonsense talk be that? Please, I beg. You see how fine this woman is? Use me anyhow you want. Is it you she's using? No. She's using me. I beg. Rubbish.
I bet.
Rubbish.
I bet.
Oh man. Oh my gosh. I love it. But you can see some people choose it. Some people choose to be the anchor. And Martin got an answer for that one too. He said because anchor need a ship to travel. All men need get around too.
You know something? I feel like Martin should be a co-host on this show.
I believe
like a guest co-host.
If either one of us need to dip one evening, we can have to call him Martin. We gotta figure out who he is.
But in all seriousness, though, like I mean, it could be, it's the want to be needed. So somebody might have a rescuer complex, so they feel like, oh well, I'm helping, or she or he has nobody else, and then they confuse being useful with being loved.
And that's what you call codependency, right? Like that's like the basic definition of codependency is when you need to be needed.
And some people don't want a partner, like they just want a project. So I mean that's one reason why they agree to be the anchor. Another one we kind
People
of
need
touched
a
on.
nurse.
Yeah, another one we kind of touched on is loneliness. So I mean, they just rather have somebody than just face being alone. Um, you know, and like they'll just
And you know,
accept.
those are quite benign reasons. You know, those are not terrible reasons. I don't think like the need to be needed and wanting to take care of somebody, that's not necessarily a bad thing, right?
Mhm.
And the companionship and wanting to have somebody close by and being lonely, that's not a bad reason to choose either. When you really think about it, like, you know, these are human reasons.
Mhm.
Where it gets a little sinister is in when it's like when you get into that situation where like you want control, right? Because this is the one that freaks me out a little bit, because I've heard people say, and I've heard men, particularly men who like to travel, to get on a flight to Cuba and engage in prostitution and stuff like that, right? And we got plenty of them. We just talking right now, right?
Mhm.
And I've heard them say, yeah, I don't want it to do with Cayman woman, Cayman this, Cayman woman that, Cayman woman the next. And then nothing more than a Cayman woman has requirements. Because from her position of privilege, when she don't need papers, she don't need any of those things. What she actually needs is a partner. Cayman women have requirements, right? And this applies in any jurisdiction where this happens. And this happens all over the place. So they prefer to find somebody who is more vulnerable because, oh, she can't leave me. If she leaves me, she gonna lose her papers.
So it's a power play then.
It's a power play, and that can actually lead to some pretty dark situations.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, pretty sinister. Yeah.
Yeah, it can be pretty sinister. I
Um,
like Hilton has come in as well with a good one. Sometimes it's a calculated reason. The old man says he has about another good 10 years, and why not enjoy it and be the envy of his friends with a young thing?
but
Yeah, that's a cool reason, right? I get
they
that.
say Hilton go out with a bang, pun intended.
And you know, Viagra kill man all the time, you know. And they
Listen.
find them in compromising positions. And you can just hear it, you know, you can just hear it. Boy, that's how he wanted to go.
They went out with a bang. Tiffany says lavender marriages. So, which goes back to what we were talking about, you know, beard marriages and why why people may want to be an anchor, right? Like they want the image because marriage, you know, might cover up certain things, you know. And there's a level of optics, right? There's a certain respect given to people when you say, you know, like it's different. It's like, oh, if you say this is my girlfriend, this is my boyfriend, as opposed to like when you say this is my wife or this is my husband, you know, it's like oh, you're esteemed a little more in society, right? Yeah. So good point, Tiffany. Great point.
But and let's just define what a lavender marriage is for people that don't know what that is. I actually am very interested in lavender marriages. I remember there was a point in time when I was single and I was like, you know what? The most amazing men that I know are gay. Why the hell not just cohabitate and give them a little place to be safe? In a world that is not necessarily safe, we don't have to do nothing. We can just enjoy each other's company, watch good movies, make them cook. We share the cleaning. You know, like it would be a great experience. So a lavender marriage is when a straight woman marries a gay man, and they just
knowingly
cohabit
or
like
unknowingly.
Well, usually it's knowingly because otherwise it's not a lavender marriage; it's a lie.
Okay.
You don't think?
Well,
Some people do it
I mean, so I mean, you have a lot of people that they I mean, and not just in this issue, for many different reasons, right? Martin says, knowingly, a beard is the unknown one. Okay.
Wait, I click in here. I got the clicks.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, I think lavender is knowing because just the color itself is such a pleasant experience. It's a chosen experience.
So what they call it when the woman gay?
I don't know. But women face far less opposition when they're gay than men do. But it looks like we might have an answer to that too. Down low men are different
from the real
gay.
gays.
Oh, okay.
Don't
Yeah,
worry.
but I feel like down low men. So down low men. We need to do a whole new show on this. That might be next. Oh my goodness, Martin, that is so bad. He said, "Would that be a bulldog marriage?"
We gotta get him as a guest host on this show. Yeah, we gotta get him as a guest host on this.
But I have a thought on that, right? I have always wondered, right, if a gay man and a very masculine gay woman were to enter into a lavender marriage and actually find themselves attracted to each other, would that make them straight? Would that make that relationship straight? Not them. Their orientation is one thing, but would that relationship be a straight relationship?
That just blew my mind with what?
Clearly, I have an example that I'm describing in my head.
Okay. Well, can that sounds like that's gonna be for another episode on another day.
Yeah, but it's a good one because that doesn't necessarily have to be a sham. I feel like a lavender marriage is not necessarily a sham because then we have to define what is a sham marriage.
Yeah, but I don't think knowing or not knowing makes the sham a sham, because I mean if I want to stay, if let's say I'm not Caymanian and I want to stay here and I marry you, right? Now you don't know that that's the reason. I sweet talk you, I use my sweet mouth on you, and I serenade you and that kind of thing, and you think that it's the real thing. It's a sham. I mean, but if you also know and you say, well, all right, well, you know what, you're gonna marry me for papers, I want some money or I want something out of this, it's also a sham. So whether you know or don't know, I think what makes it a sham is the reason for the marriage, not necessarily whether one knows or doesn't know.
Yeah. I don't know. I see. So this gets weird, right? Because what is marriage, and what is a real marriage? Because when you think about some marriages that start together in heterosexual marriage, let's stay like
Stay with the
super
convention.
normative.
Yeah.
Let's stay super normative, right?
Mhm.
Heterosexual marriage, they have children together. They now have gotten to the point where they no longer have sex. They've moved into separate bedrooms, but they remain married. How is that different from a platonic marriage? And what makes that not a sham and the other one a sham?
Well, I think the whole before I think to answer that fully, I think we need to understand what the purpose of marriage was. I mean, because marrying for love is a fairly recent phenomenon in world history, right?
Yes.
Because people married historically for resources and to secure resources for two families.
To secure property, right? And to secure inheritance. Correct. Yes. Right. So, to control with female sexuality and to subjugate women.
Right. Mm-hmm. So I mean, in many instances around the world, we're not even talking about places like, the stereotypical Indian wedding where, people think, oh, well, all marriages are arranged. And I mean, now in that culture, it's seen more of like when your parents select partners for you, it's seen more like a dating service rather than an arrangement. But for many times, in many places, from the dawn of time, people have been arranging marriages with each other for resources, right? I mean, it's only fairly recently where people start romanticizing it and getting married.
Because that romanticization is built into law. Now you're actually having to interview and define your marriage as being legitimate by proving that you're married for love.
But here's the thing now, right? Here's the thing. I think upon talking about that, I think I kind of inched a little closer as to what makes a sham marriage a sham marriage.
All right.
In those instances where marriage is arranged, right? The man and the woman may not have even seen each other until the wedding day. But the parents on both sides would have done the vetting and okay, well, this person is suitable. This woman is, she's a suitable wife, or he would make a suitable husband. And I think they grew to love each other. And because there was that family pressure, because it was arranged and because it involved the resources of two different families, the families sort of worked and set up systems so that the couple stayed together, right? Doesn't mean that the man didn't go and stray and do his business. It doesn't mean that the woman perhaps didn't go and stray and do her business, but the marriage was seen as valid. And, many instances, they grew to love each other. In our modern times now, it's like love comes first now in our modern time. But I think with a sham marriage is that there's no possibility. What makes it a sham is that there's no possibility of us falling in love. It's an arrangement. We know what it is. We're going into this because I getting something, you getting something, or maybe it's parasitic. I just going into this because I know I getting something out of it. I don't even love you. I can't stand the thought of you. The thought of you rolling over me or me rolling over you disgusts me. So it's like love is a two-way street, and if there's not that love or not that possibility for love to grow, I think then the marriage, that's what makes it a sham.
But it's such a tough thing to measure, right? And because you have to think about it this way, right? There are people, if it's a matter of choice and possibility, there are people that married, and I know of couples who married for the purpose of immigration, and that came as like number one reason, right? Married for the purpose of immigration, and time passed, well past where they needed to be married for that person to continue to maintain their status, and they stayed married. So even though they started out with no intentions of being so I say all this to say, right, at what point in time do we decide that there's no possibility for it to become a loving marriage?
I mean, it's cheaper to keep her too, You got people who married for love and they end up hating each other and despising each other, but they don't divorce.
Exactly. But then it's a reverse.
Cheaper to keep her. It's cheaper to keep her. So let's say they produce children and the children grown up and the children gone to college, or I mean sometimes religion too. But at that point the marriage is a farce. Because but then again, I don't know if we can say that, because that was sort of the whole purpose of marriage coming into being.
But can I tell you that everything that you're saying right now makes me think that marriage is a farce? Everything we're saying right now is talking me out of the validity of the very idea of marriage. Don't get me wrong, I have been married, and I would probably marry again. I would be open to be married again, but but what you're defining right there, like I can't see the purpose of it if that's the case. Like I'm not really getting a clear picture.
I mean, the thing is with marriage, right? And I want to be careful what I say, because I don't want to.
I'm loving the fact that you were the one advocating for marriage, by the way. Sorry for interrupting you, but I'm loving the fact that you're on that side and I'm the devil's advocate. Me, the one that has been married. Oh, convince me.
Well, I mean, listen, marriage is, it forms for people who want to start a family. And when I say start a family, I don't necessarily mean necessarily having children, right? Because you can have a childless couple and they still are a family, right? I think the purpose of marriage is to, solidify the parameters in which you can build a stable family. Because I think when you're building a family, the most important element is stability.
Yeah.
Right? Not love, not respect. I mean, those things are part of it, but the most important fundamental thing, because especially where children are involved, if you do not have a stable environment, you're going to raise dysfunctional children, right? And I think that if you're not really interested in starting a family, and you just, but you enjoy, you love each other.
And I'm interested that ship not on the cards for me. So you haven't sold it to me, and I think we're kind of running out of time. And I'm excited for us to continue. I know you will try and sell me marriage before the end of this year.
I'm not trying to tell you nothing. I'm just saying that if two people really
not that I
enjoy
should be
each
married,
other's,
but that I should believe in marriage. That's what I mean. Like that, there's a purpose to it.
well, if two people enjoy each other's company and they're content with, they don't really care about the parameters like what I'm talking about, then I mean there's no need to get the government involved. Because really and truly, that's what it is. It's just the government sanctioning this union. And you don't need a government to sanction, love and feelings that you have toward each other.
Which kind of takes us to our poll, right? Because I think where I'm landing on this whole thing is that it is very much subjective. And I feel like our poll is kind of reflecting that right now too. Right? So yes, our poll is saying right now, like the question was, if you find out that you find out that it started as a marriage for papers, can love still be real? And you can tell that there's a tie between, like, I need the full story. Well, no, I need the full story is a full thing. Is a winning answer. I need the full story is, to me, saying this is a very subjective situation. It requires context. It's complex. It is layered. But then we have right after that, the next most popular answer is yes, love can grow. And I have to believe that as a romantic at heart, even though I voted for I need the full story.
Well, I just wanted the audience to, I just wanted to point out to the audience that we've blurred any
all the voters.
Yeah, so you're not, again, this is a show that we respect anonymity. So, just as a side note, feel free to send us questions, send us your topics, any ideas. We respect anonymity here. If you comment on Facebook or you comment on YouTube, but I mean, the world sees that. But any sort of private question you want us to answer, send it on through. Sorry, go ahead. We were talking about the poll.
Yeah, but I'm just saying good night to Darlet in Nicaragua. Thank you for joining us. This is great.
All the way from Nicaragua. Thank you.
I love that. So yes, and then right after that, it depends on the honesty after. I think all marriages depend on honesty, so I would agree with that. But no, it's built on a lie. Is it though? Because once again, I go back to I need the full story. If you find out it started as a marriage for papers, can love still be real? You might have known. You might have known it was for papers to start with. So it's a complex situation right there. I really don't envy the people that have to make decisions on other people's marriages and whether or not they're real. I don't envy that at all. That's a very complicated and a heavy burden to. But there are a couple of things that we haven't gotten to that I would love to talk about tonight, but we don't have enough time.
There's always a room for part 2.
I think there is, but I think part 2 has to be about the age difference. We need to talk about the age difference in sham marriages, because that, I think we kind of touched a lot on it, but I really feel like we could focus a little bit more on that. I'm talking about that 20-25 year age difference that just don't seem to make sense in the world.
Well, this makes me think of even if it's a story where it says, can love still be real? Even if it's a case where only one person is the person that's in love. Can you hear me?
Yeah, for sure. I can hear you.
Sorry, because your mic was cutting off and stuff. All right. Yeah, I think that, there's a quote I read somewhere, I can't remember where, but they were talking about unrequited love or unrequited love, however you pronounce it. And they were saying that actually unrequited love is actually the purest form of love, because it's love given knowing that you won't get it in return.
Oh, it's such a tragedy though, isn't it?
It is tragic. It is tragic, but sometimes the purest things are tragic. But I think the message that, in closing, right? I think the message that I want to get across, marriage isn't a loophole. It's not a shelter program. And it's not a status upgrade with a honeymoon filter. If you're thinking, well, let me say this. Like, if I were thinking about marrying for convenience, I would have to be honest with myself first. What problem is it I'm trying to solve? Because a ring isn't going to fix instability. I think it only merges instability. And in a small place like this little rock that we call home, you know, the truth doesn't stay private for long. And people see who's living where and who's suddenly, quote unquote, in love, and, you know, who's just in need. So if I'm the one being asked to be the anchor, and I'm only speaking for myself, if I was the one being asked to be the anchor, I think I would try not to confuse being needed with being loved. And, you know, I would need to remember not to let ego, loneliness, or some sort of savior complex sign me into a situation that turns my peace into a bargaining chip.
Yeah, my parting message is a little different. I think it's a lot simpler. And it's, you know, don't lie to yourself and don't lie to others, and nobody will get hurt. We can make arrangements. People can make arrangements. Yeah. Martin will talk about unrequited love. It gives people the most depression. But people will make arrangements that make them happy because they fill needs, right? They actually fulfill their needs in different ways. And as long as there's honesty and there is far less opportunity for people to be hurt, you can walk away with clean hands. You can come to it with clean hands, and don't lie to yourself, don't lie to others, and nobody gets hurt.
Nobody gets hurt.
I also believe that a person who is in that marriage is really the only one who can say whether it's real or not. Yes, I understand that we have to have practical decisions, and we have to, like, there are certain legal ramifications, and we really need to be able to like separate the wheat from the chaff. So for instance, the person who does not live with this person and is taking funds and being paid rent to live in their country, and we've had two examples of that described on this show tonight. That's well outside of the range. But when it's coming closer to the line of, like, is it or is it not? Allowing people to have the possibility for emotion and love and commitment and loyalty to grow, I feel like I would be in favor of keeping the possibility of love alive. But with honesty. Don't lie to yourself, don't lie to others, and nobody gets hurt.
I agree. Richard says, very interesting, but we must have part 2. Don't worry.
Well, it's a good thing we're here next week.
Richard, we don't aim to disappoint. We aim to please. With that said, I am Alfred.
And I'm Matilda.
And this has been Real Talk, Love and Lies. Good night, everyone.
Cause real love steady, it don't need show. It move like reggae bassline, nice and slow. Real talk, love and lies. It's each hard in disguise. Truth come first, we no compromise. Open your eyes, open your eyes. From Caveman Shore to city lights. Real talk, love and me talk lies. Hold your heart, protect your vibes. It's real talk tonight.